You're listening to She's the Fan, the sports podcast for the girls who want in on the conversation.
Brought to you by your sports BFF. I'm Heather.
And I'm Abby.
If you're enjoying this podcast, do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. And make sure to share this with a friend who would also enjoy it. For more sports content, make sure and follow us at your sports BFF on Instagram and TikTok.
Heather, how about you tell them about the BFF brief?
Ooh, we launched the BFF brief, our daily text message that gives you everything you need to know to head into your day of what people are going to be talking about sports news and culture. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on all things sports. And it's straight to your phone, short, no newsletters, no app, just a simple text.
It's super easy, concise, everything
Link
you need to know.
is somewhere below, probably. I have not one, but 2 dates booked.
Oh,
right?
tell me more. Do you have a tall man named Tim? A redhead?
I do not. I have not met a tall man named Tim yet. These boys, let's call it 1.5 dates because one is supposed to be tomorrow, and the conversation ended naturally after like, "How's Thursday?" "It's great. Text me the plan," and I have yet to hear anything. So we'll see if that plan comes through. And then the other one is planned for next Tuesday. Both blonde, both tall. Blonde is kind of out of my norm.
Interesting.
So we'll see. But the way the week's going, not having a date tomorrow would be lovely, but I don't know. Makes no sense to like want to go on a date on Thursday and then just like not follow up after that.
Yeah, but yeah, it's dating in 2026. New year.
It really is not that hard, folks.
Same.
We're looking for the bare minimum. So that's my latest.
Well, I mean, still got to keep our eyes out for
Tall Tim.
Tall Tim. My witchy senses.
I know. Gail had a dream that she met my soulmate, or we met my soulmate.
Yeah, I had a dream premonition that we met a tall man named Tim, and it was Heather's soulmate. So if you're a tall Tim out there,
slide into the DMs.
I've got a Heather for you.
Oh God. But like slide into the DMs. Let's jump into it. Yeah.
You got a hot take for me?
I have a hot take for this week. My hot take is if your team did not make the NFL playoffs this year, you are officially a free agent through the Super Bowl and can root for any team that you want. But you have to pick one. You can't like bounce around. Like if, for example, if you're a Detroit Lions fan, you could root for the 49ers.
See, I have to disagree with you. I think that I have to suffer as a Detroit Lions fan. I think that
well, yeah.
No, but like I don't think that I should have the joy of like my second team winning.
That's
I
fair.
think that like, you know, like I think that I should like have to wear like an L on my forehead.
Scarlet L.
Yeah, you know, like I think that there should be, if your team lost, my team, the Lions, they didn't make it, I also lost.
Yes. I think there's levels to this because I think there's different types of fans, and I very much, I think as someone that's moved around so many places, I always kind of root for the hometown team. I have my like diehards, if you will, but I have players and they moved around. Like we're kind of in this new era of fandom. And so I think there's your old school diehards that you live and breathe by that team. Then yeah, you go sulk in the corner and we'll have our fun. But then I think there's the modern day, like more casual fan. And I, as a 49er fan, will welcome you with open arms to root for us against the Eagles.
Yeah, no, I think I'm taking the opposite of your hot take.
Headlines for today. Tried to kind of keep this a little short because it's been a minute since we've talked, but these are like the hot things happening right now, just so you can stay in the know. So 30 days to Olympics. I got the text from my dad this morning, but I was ahead of the game. And we have a countdown on social media, Instagram, TikTok. 30 days, we'll cover all the sports, all the events, everything you need to know, like how they work, how the judging, scoring, times, whatever it is, works. And then some of our favorite athletes to watch, primarily USA athletes, but there's a couple important ones that we'll cover that have made their way in. So follow us on Instagram if you're not. But yeah, really excited for Olympics to kick off. 30 days.
Can we have like a sub coverage of just Snoop Dogg?
Oh yeah. I mean, here's a headline. He did the NBA broadcast. He did the Warriors. I lost it. I was having so much fun watching it, sitting alone at my house, just giggling. I loved him. There was mixed reviews on Twitter, but majority of people loved it and just thought it was fun. He brought a new energy. Yeah, we will be, the SCF Instagram might turn into just like a Snoop at the Olympics for the next
week. The best of Snoop.
Yes, truly. There will be highlight reels. I'm so excited. Yeah. He just truly looks like he's having so much fun. So much fun.
Which, of course, how can you not?
Exactly. I know. We'll have a little Olympics segment too. We'll see how that comes together. But we'll be talking a lot about Olympics. Being a Montana gal, I feel like I grew up Winter Olympics being the big one. Mm-hmm. And then college football semifinals start tomorrow. So we have Miami versus Ole Miss tomorrow, and then Indiana versus Oregon on Friday. Both are going to be, I think, really good games. The quarterfinals were a little bit, some were great, but there were some blowouts. And so I feel like in the playoffs, you want the like crazy good game, which the FCS national championship, essentially like the tear down from this college football playoffs, was exactly what you wanted to do, which we'll talk about later. Okay, back to the NFL. 7 head coach openings already in the NFL.
This is like we talked about this a while ago with the WNBA, and it's still like the season's not over yet. So I'm still the mind is blown.
All of the firings are teams that didn't make the playoffs, so their season has ended, and essentially they call it Black Monday. So Sunday was the last. Yeah, they call it Black Monday because it's just like who's on the chopping block. And the shocker, there were some kind of obvious ones, but a couple of shockers. One of the crazier ones was Pete Carroll. He was the head coach for the Raiders. They had the worst record this season, ended up with the number 1 pick, but he got cut after just 1 season, which is kind of crazy. I think he had signed a 3-year deal. I could be incorrect there. So that was kind of a big one. But then the more shocking one was the Ravens head coach, John Harbaugh, who I always get confused which one's Jim and which one's John.
I know, not to be
confused. John Harbaugh, 18 seasons with the Ravens. Wow. And they finished 8-9. They lost essentially like last Sunday by a missed field goal kick to not make it to the playoffs. But what I've read is he kind of lost connection in the locker room. So he didn't really have the connection with Lamar Jackson, the quarterback. And so I think they're trying to build more around the team. It sounds like other teams have already started to reach out to John. So he'll be fine. I think it came to a shock. I imagine it's always a bit of a shock to find out, but there had to have been some kind of precursor conversations around it. Yeah, that one kind of broke the internet a bit.
Dang.
I know. But
so then will more trickle through as the season continues? Like is Black Monday the day?
I mean, I wouldn't expect, Miami's probably the one. They've kept their head coach. We kind of thought he was going to get cut mid-season because they were doing bad, and they've been doing bad. Miami's the one that actually has reportedly started conversations with John Harbaugh, even though they haven't let go of him. So that one might come through. I wouldn't expect any of the playoff teams to like cut ties with their head coach unless something major were to happen. But I would be surprised if we see a ton more. I think the ones that were like, they've been losing and this was kind of the last straw probably have been done. We might see some offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators move into head coach position. So there could be some movement in that sense. WNBA. CBA, the acronyms, extended deadline. They keep extending it, but it comes up on Friday. And the Players Association essentially has voted that they would go on strike. And so there's kind of this do or die moment. Unrivaled, the 3-on-3 women's basketball tournament, which we'll dive into in a bit, just started. So there's kind of all of this what's going to happen. And I don't think they're willing to budge much. Like, I think that the WNBA has come back with a ton of different offers, and I think they're holding pretty firm and keep saying like it's going to be a disservice to everyone that came before us and everyone that comes after us. And we know what we are owed and we're going to get paid that. So we might see a strike. I do very much strongly believe the WNBA season will happen this year. More to come. Stay close to your phone on Friday. It could get extended. I don't know. I don't know what the next step is.
At this rate, like, it keeps getting extended. We've been talking about this forever.
Yeah, I know. And I think like it's got to come to a close soon. So we'll see. Okay. So last thing, couple updates, catching up on some love stories. Matilda's captain, Australia's national team, and Chelsea FC striker Sam Kerr, and her long time, I think they've been together for like 5 years, and they just adopted a son a few months ago. U.S. women's national team and Gotham FC midfielder Christy Mewis said I do on New Year's Eve. It was a really cool looking wedding. They looked stunning. And then Marta, the Brazilian soccer legend, she also plays in the National Women's Soccer League, and her former National Women's Soccer League teammate, Carrie Lawrence, sealed the deal and tied the knot. So another big wedding. And then 2 engagements. Sticking with the soccer teams, NC Courage's Peyton Linehan and SF Giants pitcher Reggie Crawford got engaged. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers' Amika Buka proposed to his girlfriend, Lainey, who's a former Notre Dame soccer player. So, like, good time to be a soccer player.
Wow.
I know.
Love and sports ball.
Love and sports ball. And those are the headlines. That's what you need to know going into the rest of the week.
While we're on the soccer topic, I will let us segue into our 2026 prediction.
Ooh, yes, I'm so excited for these.
So my first 2026 sports prediction is that soccer fandom is going to have a major increase this coming year. And I think that by 2027, maybe 2028, could be top 3 sport in the United States. And I have an argument to back it up.
Did it not? Hold on, time out. Did it not just move to the top 3 spot?
Well, yes. So it just kind of nudged baseball out. So yes, but I think that kind of happened quietly. So, yeah. But maybe just quietly because of who I am. But so like soccer it just moved ahead of baseball in popularity. And then World Cup is coming. It's being hosted here. Finals are in New Jersey. And that's just going to amplify the fandom and the exposure. So baseball still has all the tradition around baseball. Yeah. Baseball, it struggles with younger fans. It struggles with urban relevance, global crossover, highlight culture, and soccer has all of those things, especially the MLS. It really fits into how people consume sports right now. Mm-hmm. Short highlights, supporter culture, city identity, international stars. Like, it's such an exciting sport. People are excited about it. Like, the buzz around the World Cup. And I think that MLS it's ready for its moment. You know,
I agree. I very much think that it's fascinating that like every kid I know kind of like grows up playing soccer. When you're like a 5-year-old, you're dumped into soccer camp, I feel like. And so everyone knows it. Everyone plays it. It's really simple. But in the US, it's not ever been as like mainstream, like broadcast. And I very much agree that like having the World Cup local and people being able to like see the culture firsthand and experience it, I think it's going to be, a big deal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be very consumable. And I think that this is just a huge launching point to make it the big three.
Follow up with a similar take, but different sport. I think that hockey is going to become the it sport for the girls. I think that between Tate McRae, even if they're just friends, which I don't think they're, the Olympics happening and heated rivalry, I really think that we're going to see kind of a similar boom with the girls and the gays, similar to like what T-Swift did for the NFL. I mean, girls already call it going to the boy aquarium. It's already one of like the top leagues. It's got a ton of attention. And so I think we're going to see hockey really thrive within the female space, which I think is going to help push the league forward with a lot of their social issues that they've candidly not dealt with well. Things like sexual assault and pride nights and sort of like a traditionally like bad culture around some of these like social issues. So I think we're going to see some like hopefully major strides this year. Probably not major strides this year, but I think we're going to see some progression, and the women are going to be the driving force of that.
I like that prediction.
My second prediction for 2026 sports is that the WNBA is going to get a new commissioner and the girls are going to get paid. I think I kind of alluded to that, but I really don't see another option. And I think the world wants it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Kathy's time has come. Agreed. And I think this extension is like what are the words that I'm trying to say?
Well, we've talked about it before, and like she's clearly lost so much trust with the players that like I just don't think there's going to be a resolution with her involved. And even if there is, she's not the right path forward.
Yep. I hope that's a premonition, not a prediction.
I think it might be. I don't think it's a uncommon prediction.
A 2026 sports prediction that I have. I think that the NBA will be the next team to bring on an official fashion editor, like how the NFL has Kyle Smith.
I agree. I like that one. I think leagues will very much start to take into consideration just like the cultural side.
And I think it's a gimme thing for players to do, to highlight not only the athletes, but I think a lot of football players took it as ways to highlight things that they were doing outside of the sports, like charities that they were a part of and all sorts of things. So I think it's more than just fashion.
Yeah.
So I think NBA is next in line.
Okay. Sticking with NBA, my next prediction is that the NBA is going to expand to 32 teams. This has been in discussion, but I do think that the Seattle Sonics are going to come back. And I'll even add a little bit extra that I think the Seattle Supersonics are going to come back and Kevin Durant is going to end his career there. Not in 2026 though.
Yeah, that would be quick.
Yeah, I don't think, but like I think that he'll somehow make his way back to the Supersonics.
Okay.
But definitely 32 teams. I'll end it with a big one. Joe Burrow is going to get traded to a new team. The season did not go great. I think he's trying to want to stay there, but I think that there's going to be opportunities for him to move around. And I think a likely team could be the Jets, which I really hope he doesn't go to the Jets. I think it'd be better to stay in Cincinnati. The Niners, there's been talk about how great of an addition. I mean, he'd be a great addition to any team, but there's been talk about the Niners. I think that's a bit of a pipe dream. I think that the team is pretty bought into Purdy. However, if the postseason doesn't go well and it's heavily on offensive not producing, I think that Purdy plus some of our defensive players who are getting a lot of playing time with injuries, like Nick Bosa's out, Fred Warner's out. I think we could trade Purdy plus someone for a like big pickup like Joe Burrow. So
wow,
that's kind of a crazy one.
That's a crazy one. Because would you attribute the rough season just to the turf toe?
I mean, he was injured. Like, that was a bummer. He had some good games, a couple not great ones. I think he's just not really had a good go at. I think he's tried. And I think that sometimes I want a fresh start. He's alluded to some stuff on social media, whether it's personal or not.
Crystals aren't charging in Cincinnati. The stars aren't aligning, and it's the year of the horse.
I know.
The Colts?
Well, they do have Daniel Jones. He should be back. I don't know. I know the Niners.
Is there another horse team?
The Broncos.
I don't know. I'm just following the signs.
The Broncos are doing great. I don't think they would trade Bo Nix. It depends. Like Cincy might shop him around because they know, maybe he's like, hey, I'm kind of keen on some new, I don't know. I don't know how all this stuff goes down, but I think he just might be looking for a little bit of a refresh.
Wow.
I know.
Maybe he needs some Carly.
That would be a duo.
And what's his name? Bluey?
Bluey.
Is it Bluey?
No, Bluey is so like kids. It's Blue. Yeah. Bluey sounded right. I
mean, he is blue.
And it's not like we have kids to really like hear Bluey randomly. Bold predictions. Blue, yeah. It's just Blue. Bold predictions. WNBA gets a new commissioner. Burrow's getting traded. NBA expands to 32 teams. Hockey's gonna blow up with the ladies and the gays. World Cup is gonna put soccer back on the map, or like really, really put it on the map. And then
the map.
More of a culture fashion like staff member
for the NBA.
I even think like other leagues. The NHL cut their like suit rule this year. Like I could see them doing that. Like I could see other teams having kind of like a fashion culture hybrid. I don't know.
Oh, for sure. My prediction is just that
the NBA will.
Probably. That the NBA is next.
Yeah. Alrighty. Before we go on to our breakdown of what's happening with Unrivaled, I have to tell you about the FCS National Championship game because Montana State was in it. And it was such a good game. Montana State ended up winning, and it came down to a crazy finale. Illinois was down 2 touchdowns in the second half. They ended up coming back, had a chance for a around 40-yard field goal to win. Montana State ended up blocking it. That then led to the first ever overtime in like the history of the tournament. Illinois got the ball. They scored a touchdown first, but their extra point was blocked again. Then Montana gets the ball. It comes down to the final play where they're 4th and 10. And the quarterback, Justin Lamson, threw a beautiful, perfect pass to Taco Dowler. Incredible name.
Taco.
I know. Taco Dowler. And he caught it in the end zone. They ended up kicking the extra point to win. I will say, go Grizz. I'm a University of Montana fan, but seeing anything Montana on national TV always makes me excited. So I got to give a little bit of a shout out to the Bobcats. For the breakdown today, we want to dive into Unrivaled because Unrivaled kicked off this week. So figured we'd do a little explainer. It's like one of the newer women's sports leagues of many, and they're in their sophomore season, and it's really fun to watch. So figured we would do like a little breakdown on how it works and why you should tune in to watch because it is so fun. So essentially it's 3-on-3 basketball, which usually you see 3-on-3 basketball as half court, but this is 3-on-3 full court. It's a smaller court than the WNBA court, and the games are shorter. So it's still 4 quarters. However, it's 3 7-minute quarters, and then the 4th quarter is played to a target score. So bear with me here. That essentially means that they add 11 points to whoever was leading at the end of the third. So if it's like 50-60 at the end of the third, they would add 11 points to 60, making it 71. And then it's just first team to hit 71 points wins. And so there's no clock in the 4th quarter, no running time. So the game goes fast. It makes it really exciting and interesting. Once that shot is up and made, it's done and the game just ends. So it's a really interesting way to wrap up the game, and it makes it really exciting because every point really matters. Standard basketball rules, games can end on free throws. That's actually how the championship game last year ended, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, it's wild. So it's fun, it's short, it's fast paced. The players seem to love it. It's really exciting. It was founded by Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart, and it really was a way for players to essentially have a domestic league option for off season versus having to go overseas. And then they do a lot of fun stuff. There's a separate one-on-one tournament that will take place in February, which is really exciting to watch. It's essentially dubbed the best one-on-one player in the world. And it's just like your one-on-one pickup style. It has a big cash prize and a lot of like clout to your name, essentially. So how it works.
Why we love Unrivaled. First, the money actually makes sense. This is something that we have talked about a lot. The average salary in Unrivaled is around $250K, which is well above the WNBA average. And then additionally, on top of that, what really sets it apart is that the players own it. They hold equity in the league. So it isn't just player first in name, it's literally building something that they benefit from long term. So
yeah,
like it's really like that's huge. Like
yeah.
I feel like when you're interviewing for a job, if you can have equity in the company, like that's massive. So that's cool. That's unique for I don't know. I think that that's special,
especially alongside like the WNBA, where they're struggling to get deals made that they feel confident in, and like to feel like you actually have a stake in and feel supported and your voice is heard is really cool.
So the media deal is huge. Every game is guaranteed primetime coverage. So that level of visibility right out of the gate is rare and impactful. And then the investor list is kind of wild. Billie Jean King, Michael Phelps, Steph Curry, Coco Gauff, Alex Morgan, like a serious vote of confidence from athletes who understand longevity and brand power, and like everything about it is stacked. And then on top of those things, the vibe of everything, it's in Miami. It runs for a couple months. It's more than just a league. It's games, it's culture. The players are together. They're hanging out. They're building chemistry. It feels like a really fun way that the sport is played in a way that professional sports usually doesn't allow.
I mean, we mentioned like soccer is built for like how young people are consuming sports today, and I feel like Unrivaled is a really cool example of that, because I've said it before and I'll say it again, the WNBA is a reality TV show because of the dating and the drama, and like just it's so unique in that sense. And I think having 48 of the top players in the league in Miami for 2 months, the content that comes out off court is just pure entertainment for 2 months if you're a WNBA fan.
Yeah.
And if you're
it's crazy. It's just like it's a modern sports league. It's there's so fair pay, player ownership, great media access, an emphasis on experience and culture. Like that.
One more can you
that is the key. Right. That is the key to why people are paying attention. So
it is truly like the WNBA fans' dream. But if you haven't started watching it, it's TNT, True TV, and Max. You literally just go to HBO Max and watch it. It's so easy to find. I feel like that's the struggle with a lot of the smaller, like up and coming leagues, is how do you tune in? And they did this so well out of the gate. So.
And that's why we love Unrivaled.
It's amazing. I'm excited for this year. Okay, I figured we would wrap up with a fun little series that will keep going through the Super Bowl. Our picks of the week for NFL wildcard. And we can see how we each do come next week. And so I have my picks. My picks are generally based on like the game, who I think has the power to win. I think Gail's is probably going to be just solely based on vibes
alone.
And I have a feeling she's probably going to beat me. So
Let's see how strong my witchy powers are.
I know. So the first one up is the Bills versus the Jaguars. Josh
Bills.
Allen, you're going Bills. Okay. I'm going Jags. This one I was torn on. I think the Jags have had a very good season. Trevor Lawrence is playing really well. I think they have a lot of momentum. It's in Jacksonville. And so the Bills will be on the road. And that was the deal breaker for me.
I don't know. All Josh Allen needs is one good barf, and then I think he'll be okay.
Okay. Next up, we have the Patriots versus the Chargers.
Just on the fight. I don't know. Gonna go Patriots.
Okay. I also went Patriots. The Patriots have had a very good season. I think that at home, it'll be an easy win. Next up, we have the Texans versus the Steelers.
Steelers.
You're going Steelers? Okay. I'm going Texans.
Yeah, that one just came to me.
I'm going Texans. I think the Texans could be a sleeper to go all the way. I think they are hot and having like a really good season at the right time. And then on the other side, we have the Rams versus the Panthers.
Wow, animals. Panthers.
Okay. I'm going Rams. I think that Matt Stafford is going to do well this first game. Bears.
Well, there's a dog that I see that's named Panther on Instagram, so that's why I chose the Panthers.
I love it. I think it'd be fun if the Panthers won. My gut tells me the Rams are going to do it. Bears versus Green Bay. I think this is going to be a crazy game.
I don't know that I want to choose one. I think, can I call a celebrity shot?
Who's this one?
Ellis, do you think the Bears or Green Bay is going to win? Green Bay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And this one was a hard one for me. I'm going Bears. I kind of went vibes based of Chicago team. And then last but not least, the 49ers versus the Eagles.
Oh, that's a hard one. What are the vibes telling me? Heather, I think the vibes are telling me the Eagles.
I know. This is, I think, the hardest pick. The Eagles have had a rocky season. I don't think they've had like a lot of consistency, but the Niners really struggled last week with the run defense, and Saquon Barkley could run all over us. I got to go Niners because I'm a Niners fan, and yeah, feels wrong to not pick them. I'm also really hoping that having the loss against the Seahawks last week in the fashion that we did helps us to fix those holes going into this game.
I know it pains me to not believe in you, but I have to go on vibes, and I'm sorry.
Okay. So we got Bills versus Jags split, both picking the Pats. Texans versus Steelers split. Rams versus Panthers split. Bears versus Green Bay split. Eagles versus Niners split. We'll see who's got the better win percentage next week.
Who's got the better vibes?
Truly. I mean, let's be real. I will not be betting money on this. That's for sure.
Yeah. No.
Alrighty. That's a wrap for the first episode of 2026. We will see you next week.
See you next time.